Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that, honestly, every single taxpayer in the UK needs to be aware of: the very real consequences of tax fraud. In this special discussion, arranged by the experts at My Tax Accountant, we're going to explore how the landscape is shifting and, well, why the stakes have never been higher.
This quote from Maz Zahir, the CEO of My Tax Accountant, really hits the nail on the head. So many people think a little gray area is safe, but that assumption can be a disaster. The line between an honest mistake and deliberate fraud is incredibly thin, and you really don't want to find out you've crossed it.
All right, so first things first, we have to get our heads around just how much the game has changed recently. The UK government is taking a much tougher stance on fraud, and it's fundamentally altered the risks for all of us. 14 years. Just let that number sink in for a moment. This isn't some made-up figure. It's the new maximum prison sentence for the most serious types of tax fraud here in the UK. It's a huge signal about how seriously this is now being taken. To put that into perspective, the government has literally doubled the maximum sentence. It's jumped from 7 years all the way up to 14. This isn't just a small adjustment. It's a massive statement of intent. They are cracking down hard to protect funding for our public services. So with penalties that severe, it's absolutely crucial to know what actually counts as tax fraud. Where is that line between a simple slip-up and an actual criminal act? Let's break it down.
It all boils down to one simple but incredibly important word: intent. Tax fraud is the intentional deception of HMRC. This isn't about getting a calculation wrong by accident. We're talking about deliberately underreporting your income, knowingly making up expenses, or actively hiding your assets. That intent is what makes it a crime.
So how does HMRC decide what to do? Well, they don't always jump straight to criminal charges. If you've been careless, you're probably looking at civil penalties. That's usually a fine, maybe 20 to 30% of the tax you owe. But if the evasion is deliberate and substantial, it gets escalated to a criminal matter. And that's when you're facing unlimited fines and, yes, the very real possibility of prison.
Okay, so let's dig a little deeper into that spectrum of penalties. We know the absolute maximum is 14 years, but what does the full range of consequences actually look like for different kinds of tax offenses?
As you can see, the legislation is, it's incredibly broad. Major offenses like evading VAT, income tax evasion, or this thing called cheating the public revenue can all land you that 14-year maximum sentence. Even something that sounds less severe, like false accounting, can still get you up to 7 years. It's serious business.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, 14 years, that's for the worst of the worst, right? And you're not wrong. But what's the reality for more common, mid-level cases? Well, the average sentence there is often between 2 and 5 years. So even if we're not talking about a massive multi-million-pound scheme, the consequences are absolutely life-altering. Okay, that was a lot of heavy information, I know. So let's pivot to something more constructive: how you can actually protect yourself. Think of this as a practical guide to making sure you stay on the right side of the line. The best place to start is right on the gov.uk website in your personal tax account. Once you're logged in, just check a few key things. First, your tax code. Is it correct? For most people, it's 1257L. Then, look at all the income sources they have listed for you. Finally, pull out your payslips and your P60 and just cross-check everything. It's a simple financial health check, and it's vital.
And here's a quick checklist for you to spot common errors. Is the tax being taken off at the right rate for you? Have you claimed all the allowances you're entitled to, like for your uniform or working from home? Is your national insurance right? And a big one people miss all the time: if you aren't over £60,000, are you accounting for the high-income child benefit charge? These are the little tripwires that can cause big problems.
So, after all that, it really boils down to this one crucial question. After seeing the stakes, the penalties, the potential pitfalls, ask yourself right now, are you absolutely certain your tax affairs are in order?
And that question leads us perfectly into our final section, because with this level of complexity and with stakes this high, the most reliable path to safety and to peace of mind is getting professional help. Look, at the end of the day, the best defense is being proactive. When the consequences are this severe, making sure you're fully compliant isn't something you can just leave to chance. Getting expert advice from a team like My Tax Accountant gives you not just the right answers, but genuine peace of mind. So if you have any doubt at all, any uncertainty, the team at My Tax Accountant is there to help. You can reach them directly by phone or on WhatsApp at 078 54 255 375, or you can drop them an email. Taking that step is the smartest move you can make.